Nice. As we move along, congratulations, Vernon. Our next inductee is a two-time Super Bowl champ and a three-time Pro Bowler who was an All-American at LSU, a legendary New York Giants defensive lineman on the Big Blue Wrecking Crew. Yes, one of the most dominant forces to play in his era, with 83.5 career sacks. A great example of a former player who remains active as a vocal advocate for player health. This is Leonard Marshall.
Born on October 22, 1961, Leonard Allen Marshall Jr. was the oldest of 7 children, born to a shipyard foreman in the rural Cajun County town of Franklin, Louisiana. Marshall grew up with a strong work ethic and a deep love for the game. While he admits he was a bully on the football field at Franklin High, Marshall's goal was to be a student first and an athlete second, jumpstarting his relentless pursuit of excellence on and off the football field. Marshall studied business at Louisiana State University, where he starred as a defensive lineman and earned All-American honors. Mentored by coaches such as Charlie McClenson and Jerry Stovall, Marshall learned how to play a smash-mouth style of football, a physical, run-oriented style of play, which he incorporated throughout his professional career. In 1982, Marshall received the team's Defensive Most Valuable Player award. Affectionately known as Big Chief, Marshall's dominant play at LSU caught the attention of NFL scouts, and in 1983 he was selected in the second round of the NFL draft by the New York Giants. Marshall quickly became a vital force on a Giants defense that would go on to be one of the most respected units in the NFL. His combination of strength, speed, and intelligence made him a nightmare for opposing quarterbacks and offensive linemen. Under the leadership of legendary coaches Bill Parcells and Bill Belichick, Marshall earned Pro Bowl honors in 1985 and 1986 and was also named the NFL Defensive Lineman of the Year. As part of the Big Blue Wrecking Crew, Marshall was a key part of the Giants' rise to championship glory, leading them to 2 Super Bowl victories in 1987 and 1991. Although he admits he truly enjoyed sacking every quarterback he played against, one of Marshall's most iconic moments came during the 1990 NFC Championship game. Marshall delivered a game-altering hit on San Francisco 49ers quarterback Joe Montana, a play that helped send the Giants to Super Bowl 25. Over his 12-year NFL career, Marshall recorded 83.5 sacks, 79.5 of them with the Giants, placing him among the all-time leaders in Giants history, and leaving a lasting legacy as one of the premier defensive players of his era. After playing 10 seasons with the Giants, Marshall spent time with the New York Jets and Washington Redskins. He headed back to New York to retire as a Giant in 1994. Marshall is a Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame member and was inducted into the Giants Ring of Honor in 2022. Since retiring, Leonard Marshall has remained active in the football community and beyond. He earned his MBA from Seton Hall University and has worked in business, broadcasting, coaching, and education. He previously held his Series 7 and 63 licenses and worked for a number of years as a registered investment advisor. In 2007, Leonard returned to Seton Hall as a professor of finance and sports management. He has served as a motivational speaker and board member for various charitable organizations, including efforts focused on youth development, education, and neurological research. Marshall has also been a vocal advocate for player health and CTE and has served as an advisory board member for the Concussion Legacy Foundation. As someone who has personally experienced the effects of head injuries, Marshall has courageously shared his story to raise awareness and push for better protections and care for current and former athletes. Marshall has spoken publicly in support of CBD as a safe and effective treatment option for players mitigating the symptoms of head trauma-related health issues. Marshall and his wife, Lisa Ann, reside in Ocean County, New Jersey, where they enjoy retired life, spending time with their 2 children, Ariana and Victor, daughter-in-law Kelly, and their 2 grandchildren, Matthew and Nicholas. He's a diehard LSU fan and loves to cheer on their football program. Leonard Marshall's legacy is about more than sacks and Super Bowl rings. He's a champion both on and off the field, a man of strength, conviction, and compassion who continues to fight for the well-being of others and the betterment of the game that he helped define.
The Gridiron Greats welcomes Leonard Marshall to their Hall of Fame.
You got my love. Good evening, everyone. So, I watched that video. It's been a long time since I watched a bunch of that video. Just like Vernon would say, you have fond memories of the game, and you have vivid moments in time in your life that you come back to. That was the culmination of a kid who had a dream. Did I think that dream would take me the places that it did? I had no idea what I signed up for. Playing the game that you loved as a kid for a king's ransom. Who could have it better than me for 13 years of my life? For every young kid that I meet, I try to share with them the same thing, the same vision, the same passion, and everything that game gave me that I gave to that game. I tell young people the first thing you have to understand is when you step into the arena to play a sport, the first thing you must do is come to understand you need to build culture. You need to build culture. Any one of you guys in this room that have a business and that has been successful in business, the first thing you do with your people is you define the moment, but you try somehow to build culture amongst your organization. The second thing it takes is character. That football team that Mark Collins and I played on in 1986 and 1990, both of those teams had character. And that character was defined by a great football coach by the name of Dwayne Parcells. That guy turned a bunch of kids that had a dream to play a game and play it at a high level for a long period of time and be very good at it. I got a chance to be part of that. I think about it all the time. 0.25% make it in the National Football League. And then to become one of these guys becomes even more exceptional, even more warranted, even more appreciated. So to be amongst an organization and a group of great players who built the game of professional football, and to be recognized as one of those greats is the greatest moment in my lifetime. I can't thank Gridiron Greats, Mike Ditka, this entire organization, Karen Wright, my wife, my family, my friends, everyone that came here tonight to support all the inductees, but more important, to support the men that built the game of pro football and the ones that continue to do great things, to inspire people to lead by example and become a vivid picture of what a professional is supposed to be, not only in his community, in his workplace, in his lifestyle, in his family, and be a representative to be accounted for in the life of humans. We all played this game, and we were great gladiators, don't get me wrong. But what most of us need now is what makes us human, just like every one of you in this room. And the support that you provide to a player, whether you uplift him, recognize him, shake his hand, thank him, whatever happens in your course of life with that player, I just hope that that player appreciates it as much as I do, because I gave my life to that. And for that, I thank you all. God bless you all. Continue to support this.